Hey liebe Leute und willkommen zurück zu Let's Play NOLF Server 1 für den PC. Im letzten Part haben wir weiter im Safe-Knacker gemacht. Ganz viel rumgeschlichen, war ein etwas kürzerer Part. Wir sind im Büro angekommen und stehen jetzt quasi am Safe. Und jetzt wird es erst richtig interessant. Jetzt kommt, ja, ich sag mal so, wahrscheinlich das besonderste Level des Spiels. Der Safe. Okay. Ich weiß noch nicht, ob ich bereit bin. Am besten rüste ich direkt die mal aus. Und wir gucken uns das mal an. Alles schön in Infrarot. Das Giftgas ist auch sehr interessant, muss man sagen. Also wenn ich jetzt mal kurz mich einfach... Ja, also wenn man das Laser berührt, wie gesagt, alle Türen zu, Giftgas aus, man hat keine Chance mehr zu entkommen. Also wirklich gar keine. Das ist der Giftmode. Ja, wollte ich nur mal zeigen. Man sollte, glaube ich, insgesamt halt versuchen, sich hier nicht treffen zu lassen. So. Das wird erst noch richtig schön. Okay. So. Alter. Ich habe gespeichert. Ich habe gespeichert. Gut, dass ich immer am Ende eines Parts einen normalen Speicher... Ach, leck mich am Arsch. So, wir sind wieder hier. Das kann echt... Also es kann wirklich, wirklich lustig werden hier. What the fuck? Ihr seht das, ne? Es ist nicht so, dass ich euch verarsche. Und das ist halt auch wirklich so gemeint vom Spiel. Alter, ich muss mal kurz... Sieht so freundlich aus, ne? Oh Gott. Weit so gut, aber ich muss halt auf den noch mehr achten. Ja, genau, auf den. Boah, und ich mache hier mal ganz kurz einen normalen Speicherstand auch. Nein. Damit, falls ich wieder aus Versehen Save state, ich nicht gleich wieder komplett gefickt bin. Oh, was passiert überhaupt, wenn ich mich hier drin... Oh, kann ich wieder aufmachen. Cool. Kann ein paar Versuche dauern, aber ich versuche das jetzt mal uncut. Aber der Mittelstreifen, der ist ja vollkommen asynchron zum unteren. Also... Sowas hier wäre auch im Third Person weitaus einfacher, aber lässt sich hier leider nicht einstellen. Ach, da ganz oben. Das Problem ist, man kann halt eigentlich nicht springen, weil beim Springen springt man immer in irgendeinen anderen rein. Aber...
Let's get out of here. What's wrong? Volkov.
Once again, I find myself aiming a pistol at someone you care about. Drop your gun.
How do I know you won't shoot him?
You don't. But you can be sure that I will shoot him. Unless you do as I say.
Don't listen to him, Archer.
I realize you are American, and therefore feel entitled to speak your mind whenever you please. But you are also at gunpoint, and very likely to be shot if you don't shut up!
Go to hell.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I heard you. Tell me what you said.
I thought you wanted me to shut up. Now you want me to talk? Make up your damn mind.
You are testing my patience. Miss Archer, I suggest you drop your weapon before your obnoxious American friend forces me to silence him, once and for all.
Don't do it. Get out of here now.
Tom!
Go. Go.
After her. I hope you are pleased.
Okay. Selbstbewahrung. Danke.
A bittersweet success to be sure, but a success nonetheless. Recovering from Agent Goodman's death will be no easy task, but you can be sure harm won't sit idly by while you grieve. The information you recovered from the headquarters of Dumas Industrial Enterprises may prove to be the break you've needed. Report to the war room for a full briefing.
Go.
Tom!
Get out of here now.
Agent Cate Archer, please report to the war room. Thank you.
Agent Goodman's death is a terrible blow, no question about it. But although this mission was costly, it may well prove to have been worth the price.
I wish I could believe that.
You mustn't lose sight of our objectives. The sacrifice of any or all of us is a small price to pay to preserve the lives we will save if we are successful. Tom knew the risks. So did Bruno. So do you.
Knowing the risks doesn't really prepare you for losing a partner. It certainly doesn't prepare you for losing two.
Nothing can prepare you. The loss of an operative is never expected and is always tragic. But as horrible as it sounds, it's also inevitable. It's a dangerous job.
Perhaps Mr. Smith is right. Perhaps I'm not up to the task.
Rubbish. You've performed remarkably well under extraordinarily difficult circumstances. I confess I was somewhat skeptical at first, but that was before I grasped the magnitude of the situation. In my entire tenure as a field operative, I never once faced a crisis this formidable, and certainly can't say I would have done so with the aplomb and competence you've demonstrated thus far.
I didn't realize you were a field operative.
Indeed, For 14 years. After the war, I found I was having a hard time adjusting to civilian life. Fortunately, an old acquaintance of mine was recruiting for Unity and happened to ring me one afternoon. I've never looked back. Sort of difficult to imagine, isn't it?
Not at all.
You flatter me. Anyhow, let's have no more self-pity. What do you say?
Yes, sir. So before you served on the committee, you and Bruno were colleagues.
And friends.
Did you ever work together on an assignment?
Frequently. We lost track of how many times we'd saved each other's lives.
And you still believe he was capable of treason?
In my heart? No. Intellectually? I don't quite know what to believe. No question about it. He was always a steadfast, resourceful fellow. But the history books are full of patriots turned traitors. There's no telling what a man is capable of, given the appropriate temptations.
I know what I believe.
I admire your conviction, and I pray you're right. Ah, Mr. Smith, I hope you have some good news.
Good news would be that we hadn't lost another valuable agent on this mission.
What news do we have?
Well, our analysis of Agent Archer's photographs is complete.
And?
We have a possible lead on Dr. Schenker's whereabouts.
I think we can classify that as good news.
As I said, it's all relative. This harm situation isn't the only crisis in the world, and we're fast running out of competent field agents.
Then suppose you get to the point and tell us what we know about Dr. Schenker so we can go fetch him.
It's somewhat speculative at this point, but it's possible that Harm is keeping him at a secret underground research facility in North America. We don't know the exact location of this facility, but thanks to the files Archer photographed, we know it exists, apparently in the vicinity of a lumberyard in western Washington state. It seems the site is being supplied by an American Railways passenger train. Records and research has dug up evidence of various trains making unscheduled stops in the area over the past 3 weeks.
At regular intervals?
Indeed. Probably to drop off supplies and personnel. We're certain that at least one American Railways engineer is on the Harm payroll, although several individuals may be involved. We're looking into it.
What's my assignment?
Phase 1 will be to apprehend the engineer or engineers in question so that we can interrogate them. Once you're aboard the train...
How exactly am I to get aboard?
We'll smuggle you into the galley car.
Lovely.
Anyhow, once you're aboard, you will meet with a contact who will tell you precisely whom you'll need to detain. It is safe to presume that other Harm personnel will be aboard the train, so subtlety is advisable. Needless to say, seizing the conspirators will prevent the train from making its stop, so you'll have to be sure to detrain at the appropriate time.
Well, after falling out of an airplane, I suppose jumping off a moving train can't be that bad.
That won't be necessary. Once your objectives are complete, you must head for the caboose and detach it when you're near the lumberyard. We'll have an agent in place to switch the track and reroute you to an unused depot behind the lumberyard. This area is not likely to be heavily guarded, so you shouldn't have much difficulty getting through. If all goes according to plan, you will rendezvous with another undercover agent who will, we hope, have information that should help you locate the underground base.
Then I grab Dr. Schenker and get the hell out.
Precisely. We'll have a helicopter nearby awaiting your signal. Your flight departs in 1 hour, so if you need to stop by the toy shop, now's the time.
Understood. Thank you for putting things in perspective for me, sir. I promise you I will do everything in my power to destroy Harm.
Archer?
Sir?
Don't let anger cloud your judgment. Revenge is an understandable impulse, but it is also a contemptible one. Our job is not to avenge, but to protect.
I can't just shut off my feelings like a tap.
No, but you can bridle them and use them to fuel your resolve. Destroy Harm, but do it to save innocent lives, not to retaliate for those already lost. The moment you give in to wrath, you become as reprehensible as the monsters we're hunting. Clearly, we are all called upon to take lives from time to time, but we must neither relish it nor agonize over it. It is a duty, plain and simple. Not a pleasant one, but often a necessary one.
I'll do my best, sir.
I have absolute confidence that you will.
There was one more thing, although I'm not sure how important it is. According to one of the documents Archer photographed, it seems the Baron's wife changed her surname some time ago.
Really? So her maiden name isn't McLean?
It's Farnsworth.
Felicity Farnsworth? Are you quite sure?
Positive. Do you know of her?
Aye, that I do. When she was 8 years old, her father, a wealthy banker, was involved in a nasty public scandal involving unmentionable acts with a 12-year-old boy.
How dreadful.
Mr. Farnsworth committed suicide shortly thereafter. Felicity and her mother, by all accounts a vapid socialite, were ruthlessly ostracized by their peers. Guilt by association, presumably. Furthermore, rather than inheriting the fortune she expected, Mrs. Farnsworth discovered that her late husband had left the family in inescapable debt. She went quite mad. Several days after being institutionalized, she hung herself.
My word, that poor child.
Felicity fell into the custody of an elderly aunt whose lifestyle was apparently rather more severe than she was accustomed to. About a year later, the aunt took a fatal tumble down the stairs.
Foul play?
No mention was ever made.
What happened to the girl?
She ended up with a foster family where she remained until she was 14. One night she went out her bedroom window and was never seen again. Or at least no one recognized her.
Astonishing.
Where did you learn so much about her?
I studied her.
Come again?
I believe I first read about her in a gossip column. I was intrigued by the similarities in our background, so I dug deeper.
What similarities?
Well, we both came from wealthy families. We were both orphaned at a relatively early age. Our fathers both killed themselves, although for very different reasons. We were both plunged into undesirable circumstances and resorted to rather desperate measures to survive. I found it quite uncanny at the time, although in retrospect I think we had less in common than I once believed.
Adversity is the truest test of character. The strong are strengthened by it, the weak made weaker. It sounds like this Baroness didn't have the wherewithal to cope with her misfortunes. It's a common trend among terrorists and bullies that they imagine themselves persecuted by fate and therefore feel justified in harming others.
You're frothing.
Sorry, I get carried away.
She's involved somehow.
The Baroness? Upon what unimpeachable evidence are you basing that supposition?
I just have a feeling.
Ah, then the case is as good as closed.
I don't expect you to believe me, but I'll count on you to say something smug if I'm right.
It's virtually guaranteed.
I'm not smug. Acerbic, perhaps, maybe even sardonic, but not smug.
Okay, sure. Whatever you need to tell yourself.
I have to agree with her, Smith.
Don't either of you have work to do?
Aye, sir. Off I go.
Good luck.
Okay, das machen wir noch schnell. Aber mal ein bisschen ernsteren Kram gehört hier.
We've a new perfume for you. This one's a real scorcher. It's a concentrated acid gas with a jelly base to make it sticky. You definitely don't want to get it on you.
Wow. Eine Menge Phosphorkram, sagen wir mal.
Here's a spiffy new device that should make dealing with security cameras less of an ordeal. When fastened to a camera, it generates a still image from the camera's viewpoint that should convince a casual watcher that he's seeing an empty room. Attach a camera disabler to this security camera.
Das habe ich schon wieder total vergessen, dass es das gab. Aber ist dann halt auch nur eins für eine Kamera quasi. Ja. So. Das Kapitel kommt hier. So, achso, ne. Oh, ja, sorry, dass ich den nicht habe auslabern lassen. Ja, wie man hier sieht, es gibt auch Vehikel, die man steuern kann. Und ich finde das sogar wirklich cool, das mit dem Motorrad. Allein diese kleine Außenanlage hier von Unity. Warum nicht? Kann man ja mal sehen. Fahre ich die Runde mal kurz. Und dann zu Beginn des nächsten Kapitels bzw. Levels mache ich auch direkt dann den Part wieder aus. Ja. Hier liegt bestimmt noch irgendwo ein Geheimdienstgegenstand rum. Ich fahre jetzt hier nicht jeden Baum ab. So. Ich bin fertig, Santa. Oh. Excellent. Gab es noch mehr als den einen? Nee, einen von einen. Super.
If Dr. Schenker is indeed being held in this secret underground research facility in North America, it's a safe bet he won't be there for long once Harm figures out what you're up to. The first step is to identify and detain the American Railways conspirator so that we can interrogate him. You will then need to locate the hidden entrance to the facility, find Dr. Schenker, and get him out alive. Without him, we're doomed.
Das ist die Mission, die habe ich wirklich... Also diesen Missionskomplex hier, sage ich mal, dieses Kapitel habe ich vollkommen vergessen. Stimmt. Dann ist das, glaube ich... Na gut, das sage ich mal noch nicht. Ich habe eine kleine Vermutung noch. Das mit dem Zug habe ich mich auch nicht mehr erinnert. Und das als jemand, der Zuglevel eigentlich liebt. So, begib dich in den Zug, Unity-Agent kontaktieren, Harm-Agenten verhaften. Geh zum Zugende und trenne die Verbindung. Eingang zum unterirdischen Labor finden, finde Dr. Schenker. Einrichtung mit Dr. Schenker verlassen. So, was nehmen wir dafür mit? Die Pistole, okay, die Gordon brauchen wir nicht, das Zeitgeschütz auch nicht. Betäubungsgas würde ich jetzt eigentlich auch sagen, eher nicht, aber gucken wir mal. Kann er die wieder mitnehmen und das Hemdenkarabiner eigentlich auch. So, gibt es noch irgendwas anderes Wertvolles hier? Wie wäre es einfach noch mit einer anderen schallgedämpften Pistole? Ich meine, warum nicht? Da fällt das Betäubungsgas weg. So, was haben wir hier? Die Sonnenbrille, ja, die nehme ich mit. Kamerazerstörer. Ist halt einer. Ich überlege mal, Codeknacker, okay, Haarspange. Eigentlich würde ich hier fast schon mal lieber dann die Gürtelschnalle mitnehmen, aber keine Ahnung. Naja. Rettungsversuch Szene 1.
Have you seen anything suspicious?
Like what?
There's a spy aboard this train.
Are you sure?
I am.
How do you know?
I have my sources.
That doesn't really answer my question.
Let's just say I heard it from a little birdie that someone's been poking around, nosing for information about our obliging engineer friend.
Oh.
We don't want that information falling into the wrong hands, do we?
Well, I haven't seen any spies.
If you do, let me know. We don't tolerate spies.
I'll keep an eye out.
See that you do.
Moron.
Did you say something?
Schaffner meiden, bis du ein Ticket
I
hast.
sworn I just heard you call me a Mormon.
Why would I call you a Mormon?
I have no idea.
Do you have something against Mormons?
No.
Dann würde ich hier erstmal den Cut setzen. Ich erinnere mich wirklich kaum noch an diese Zugmission gerade. Interessanterweise. Aber gut, bis zum nächsten Mal und auf Wiedersehen.